So good afternoon, everybody. This is Connie Burke speaking. We are gathered here today for our regular monthly regional abatement check-in and other things when we have other things that we'd like to discuss and share with LGUs. Happy that so many folks were able to join. We have a relatively light agenda for today. But you know, as we've talked about in the past, it's always good just to have this in case there are outstanding questions, or just good to have a chance for us all to check in. So I appreciate that I'm joined by a number of my colleagues at OASAS. And I'm always appreciative when folks turn on their camera so we can see your smiling faces, because it's Friday afternoon after all. So we have a little, hopefully most of us or all of us have a little break for the next couple of days. In terms of follow-up from our last meeting, I know at the last regional abatement meeting, we did have counsel's office on. There were questions and discussion about the new reporting requirement with regard to the OSF dollars and counties needing to share information about use of funds on their webpage. Know that counsel's office and GMSP are working to answer questions and be able to put forward kind of a Q&A document to help answer questions and guide folks with regard to meeting that requirement. So please stay tuned. It's in process. I think we're close. I know that Courtney's been eager to get that information to all of you. So know that she's been advocating and she's been reminding us, and we will get that out to everybody. Thank you, Courtney, for staying on it and being diligent. The other thing I wanted to mention to folks, if you weren't already aware, the commissioner has been traveling quite a bit over the last couple of months, working with our communications team to really, highlight how the opioid settlement funds are working across the state. And as part of that effort, our communications team is doing podcasts and actually posting quite a bit on social media with regard to the work that's happening. So I'm sharing my screen right now to show everybody. So I apologize for scrolling. I know this sometimes makes me dizzy when folks do that. So know that for our opioid settlements webpage, we are revising to make it more user-friendly and easy to navigate. And included in that, and I'm just scrolling slowly to show you, links to the advisory board information, the settlement fund tracker, information about each of our initiatives, and of course, information about regional abatements, the work that you all are doing with these dollars. If we scroll past some language explaining the settlement funds, there's our data tracker. And then you get to what I'm talking about is the videos and the podcasts that have been done focusing on what is happening with the opioid settlement fund. So really, I mean, the intention behind the effort is to really highlight and tell stories about how these dollars are being used and how they're having an impact. So I'm not gonna click on these and then play them for you. I mean, certainly I encourage everybody to go to the webpage and check it out. I think our communications team did a really great job in highlighting and talking with both individuals who have received services as well as with programs about this work. So why am I saying this? Well, I'm saying it because why not highlight a county, right? So there's work that you all are doing with those opioid settlement funds. And I just wanted to make sure that I put it out there that if any of you are interested, and this isn't just for the counties, right? This is for the cities, the 5 large cities, and for other litigating entities that are receiving dollars. If you would like an opportunity to talk about how your locality is using those opioid settlement dollars, or perhaps even if you're putting dollars into a particular project or effort, to give the team working on that project an opportunity to talk about the work and the intended expected impact of those dollars at work. Know that we would love to have that featured. We'd love to talk about that in a podcast. And certainly highlight the work that you are doing. So it's just a reminder that this is a team effort, both OASAS and the counties working on talking about regional abatement dollars, all the work that's happening. And just as you are going to be providing information on your webpage, we continue to build our webpage to provide additional information, and we're happy to highlight you. We're happy to highlight you and your work on the OASAS webpage. So if there are any volunteers, or if anyone's interested, or you have a particular project that you would really like to share, or you're excited to talk about, maybe even an example of where you're using the opioid settlement funds in conjunction with local dollars to meet an end, please, feel free to reach out. You can reach out to the Opioid Settlement Fund Project Management mailbox. You can reach out to me, and you can always reach out directly to communications as well. But reach out, and we will see what we can do to highlight the work that you're doing. I know not everybody has their cameras on, but I'm hoping that this idea kind of resonates with folks, and people are moderately nodding or excited or a little smiling, thinking, oh, well, maybe there's something that we could do or that we would like to talk about or be featured. So it is a very sincere, genuine ask that you think about working with us and featuring your county in the work that you're doing. Well, folks hopefully have our OASAS website, but certainly I can send the link to the podcast. And if you don't follow OASAS on Instagram and Facebook and X, I encourage you to, because there have been a lot of posts recently about the use of the dollars and the impact they're having. Most recently, and I need Lucia to check me on this, but most recently, I think we had 79 people who benefited from our scholarship program who completed their work.
Fellowship, those are the fellowship folks.
Fellowship,
yep.
Okay. So just exciting, great work. I mean, and two, really connecting where the system is in need with how we're using those dollars and trying to address that need. And certainly workforce has been and continues to be a challenge across the state. So, we have been talking about, the fellowships and the scholarships that have been awarded, and just the great work that's happening. So, again, would love for you guys to jump on that and be part of that communication. We're all doing really, really great work, and we should be talking about it. We should be talking about it. All right. Thanks, Lucia, for popping that into the chat. So she did put the link to that webpage, that part of our webpage, in the chat. Having said that, are there other things to talk about? One thing I wanted to mention, and that is that we had sent the reporting request for the regional abatement use of funds for 2024 out this spring. So far for regional abatement, we have 63 of the 81 reports in. So 63 of the 81 reports. Now, I'm not going to call anybody out. And honestly, I don't know off the top of my head who the balance is that we're waiting for reports from. But I do want to remind you that in order to release your payment for fiscal year 2026, we do need to have your report in. So for those of you who have yet to report, and I also recognize that in some instances, folks had asked for extensions because you're waiting for additional information, and you're also, I realize, kind of bringing information together from potentially multiple sources. If you ask for an extension or if you need more time, please just be in communication with us so we know that you're working on it. We do have a target date from you when you're going to have it in. So, so we keep track, right? And we know what's happening. So for those who have not submitted, any concerns or issues, always reach out to our project management mailbox. Kristen is here for you to answer questions and to support the effort and be sure that everyone gets their reporting in. And she's shaking her head, affirming what I'm saying. She is here for you, and she's smiling. Yes, she's here for you. So please, let's get those last of those reports in before I start traveling around the state and showing up at your office and saying, hey, by the way, we don't have your report yet. Let's work on it. Come on, I'll help.
Well, I just want to say for 2 years running, by the time we've had your dollar amounts, everyone had reported. And I personally love and enjoy when the fact that we know that when we get the new dollar amounts, we're able to cut you all a check, no exclusions necessary. I would hate to damage our 2 for 2 record this year.
Yeah.
So anybody who has a competitive streak, please join me in your desire to make us 3 for 3 in years able to cut all checks at once.
Right. So we're waiting on the numbers for the 26th. So and yes, you know, now there is a past budget. We're waiting for those numbers, but I appreciate Lucia's attempt to make this a little competitive. Like, let's see who can get this done sooner. LGUs with our reports, or the state with regard to the $26. With regard to the restricted direct share, so remember that OASAS is responsible for collecting information on the restricted direct share that is sent directly by Brown and Greer. Those are dollars that are separate from the regional abatement, but we do collect reporting on the use of those dollars. So that request has gone out. We've heard from 26 of the 63 targets for reporting. So we got some work to do there. I recognize that the LGUs are not necessarily the reporting entity when it comes to the restricted direct share. I ask you as colleagues and teammates if you could assist in ensuring that whoever within your county is responsible for doing that reporting, if you could help nudge them and help encourage them to get that report in, so we can demonstrate, you know, full collaboration on every front and information sharing. So those are my updates and comments. I am very happy to ask my OASAS colleagues if any of you have anything that you wanted to share or discuss with the LGUs at this time, or, you know, a good news share. We're always happy to hear that. I'm just looking to see who all is on from OASAS. Andrew Heck, our Associate Commissioner for Prime, Keith McCarthy for Quality Assurance and Program Improvement. I hope I said that right, Keith, I'm sorry. I don't know if we have folks from Council's office or DFA on, but Andrew, Keith, anything?
Nothing to share.
Okay.
Me either.
All right. I think that's probably good, right? I mean, it's Friday. We're heading into a summer weekend. That's all right. Any questions or concerns from LGUs, other litigating entities who may be on the call? The faces I see are not shaking yes. We've got something to say. Courtney, certainly, if you have any questions from the perspective of the conference, of course, you're always welcome to jump in as well.
Thanks, Connie. I mean, just the most recent update is that, you know, a handful of us joined one of the focus groups for the stigma campaign this week. So okay. That went well, and we're hoping to get more folks to participate.
Cool.
So
that's great. That's really good to hear. All right.
Connie, just a update from, I don't see her on here, but I'll do my best impression of Brenda Harris Collins, that we are getting a lot of increased interest in recovery housing. So thank you to the LGUs who have already helped with prior consult. If you haven't done it already, then you're probably next, because we're getting a lot of interest from all across the state. So that's super exciting. And we do anticipate, we know that the deadline on the funding opportunity is July 31st. But, it's taking folks a little bit to figure out this new certification. It's taking us a little bit to figure out this new certification and how long things are taking to do them correctly. So we do anticipate that the funding opportunity that will go hand in hand with that will be extended. So no fretting there in terms of that disappearing before anybody gets a chance to be certified. But thanks for the communicative nature that you guys have in assisting folks who are interested in this.
Terrific. And then one last thing, and it's something that we will talk about more at our July meeting. I think that I have made mention of the fact that OASAS is working with NYU to build out, in terms of the OSS evaluation, an evaluation or an understanding of the regional abatement dollars and use of dollars. And I just wanted to let folks know that in our July meeting, we will be talking about what does that mean, what is that going to look like, and also the schedule, because there will be a request to do interviews with counties to talk about how you've planned and to use those dollars and what it looks like at your county level. So wanted to just give you a heads up that ask is coming, and we will discuss more. We will have Ashley Jordan and potentially folks from NYU on the call next month to lay the foundation for that. Courtney?
Yep, sorry not to keep everybody, but I just wasn't sure, Connie, if you had any updates on the appointments for the opioids task force or the advisory board.
Oh, that's a really great question. And no, I do not have any updates. I do not have any updates. I think that's a great question. And I can certainly check in with folks at OASAS to ask if there's been any updates or any additional information, but I'm not aware.
Okay, thanks.
All right. Anyone else? Outstanding issues or questions with regard to opioid settlement fund regional abatement or direct share reporting or the best beach in the summer? Keith McCarthy, what's your favorite beach in the summer?
Can't remember the last time I've been to one.
All right. So
Heath, Cupsog.
Wait, where, Michelle?
Cupsog on Long Island.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Oh, Provincetown. Thank you, Jean Marie. Yes, yes, yes. I appreciate going to the Cape because you can actually see the seals, and sometimes you can even see a shark, swimming around. Do you ever seen dolphins around the Cape? Yeah. Okay. Nice. I didn't know if that required warmer water further south, but nice. All right. Well, Jean Marie, if you head there, please keep your eye out for sharks. We want you to come back with all of your limbs. All right, guys, if there's nothing else, I appreciate you all. I hope that wherever you are, the sun is shining, because here in New York, it seems like those days of sunshine have been very hard to come by, at least in the capital region. So I'm hoping for a beautiful weekend for everybody. Appreciate your work, and we'll be in touch. Take care.